Hey, what's up guys? Tommy here, back again with another video. And today I'm going to tell you guys why you should not get the Zero 10X. Now just to clear the water, I love my scooter, gets me where I need to go, it's fast, has great range, I can do off-roading with it, and gives me a lot of freedom. And that's why I've made so many videos on it before, advocating for the scooter, saying why it's so great. But I think it's finally time that I tell you guys the problems with this scooter that I think just aren't so great and really can ruin the experience for you if you're not careful. So number one is the stem design. So if you've done any sort of research on the scooter or you own one, which I know a lot of you guys do, you'll know that the stem has its problems. And I'll name a couple right here. The first and biggest problem that you'll hear from a lot of people is that the stem constantly creaks. Now, this wasn't too big of an issue for me the first couple months, but I decided to go and get the rugged stem clamp anyways, and I'd say it's definitely a good purchase. Definitely makes me feel a little bit more secure. But the problem is the stem still creaks, and it just keeps on creaking and creaking, and if you're off-road, it can get really, really annoying. And that's usually the first, and biggest problem you're going to hear people complain about with the stem. And now I have a couple of my own problems, which are a little less common, that I'm going to talk about. So number two is it is not very sturdy. Now this should be expected. It's a 3-foot long pole, and if you're putting too much weight on it, then you're probably going to, end up damaging it. Now, I actually snapped mine in half, and I'll put the video right here. As you can see, that stem is completely broken. It's broken at that red joint right there, and that can be very, very dangerous, as I was riding with the stem completely loose for about 2 weeks until it just fully came apart. Now, what this tells me is that this scooter's design is sort of dated. Because you'll see a lot of scooters that are coming out, especially in 2021, they don't have a traditional stem clamp like the Zero 10X has, and the actual folding mechanism is attached to the scooter itself, making the scooter much more rigid. So now that we've talked about all of the problems that come with the stem, I'd like to talk about a problem that I've had with the brakes. Now, I've had multiple different mountain bikes, and I've ridden mountain bikes, and the mountain bike hydraulic brakes are very, very nice. They always stop, and they rarely stop working. These brakes, not so much. Now these are the E-Zoom hydraulic brakes, and they've never really worked very well for me. So my rear brake has never worked. It's always had bleeding issues, and it's never actually bit onto the rotor. And my front brake has actually worked pretty well. But now sometimes if you squeeze them too slow, they'll just go all the way down, the pads won't compress, and they just have problems that typical hydraulic brakes don't have. So I'm definitely not impressed with them. Also, the rotors are actually quite thin and bend easily if they're hit the wrong way, which actually happened to me recently. So my number two issue is the brakes, and I think they can definitely be improved upon. So for my next reason on why you should not get the scooter in 2021 is that there are simply better scooters for roughly the same price. Like I mentioned before, one that I really like is the VSET 10 Plus. And the reason for that is because the company who made that scooter took inspiration from this scooter, and they seem to have fixed all of the problems and everything that was wrong with this scooter. For example, the stem is upgraded, the motors are bigger, the battery is 60 volt by 28 amp hours, which is absolutely massive for a scooter like this, and overall I hear is just a much better scooter. And for only a couple $100 more, if I was to go back and be given the choice whether to buy this scooter or save up just a couple more $100, which isn't that big of a deal when it comes to paying $2,000 for a scooter, I would definitely go with the VSET 10 Plus. Now, with all that being said, if you own this scooter, you have nothing to be ashamed of. It is a great scooter, and I love my Zero 10X, and it does a lot for me and gives me so much freedom, and I wouldn't know what to do without it. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you agreed with any of my points, make sure to hit a like on this video. Also leave a nice comment for the YouTube algorithm so I get this video recommended to more people. Make sure to subscribe. We just hit 107 subscribers, so thank you guys to everybody who subscribed and everybody who will subscribe. and you guys have a fantastic day.